All right, welcome back to the One Bar and Lepke Show. I'm One Bar, and in this episode, we're talking some Vikings NFL draft again. We're talking about 5 guys that could shock the pants off Vikings fans as far as a first-round pick.
And I'm Lepke, and yes, that is exactly what we're talking about. It's happened in the past. It hasn't happened in a while. Vikings making shocking picks in that first round. The last real shocking one that comes to my mind is the Christian Ponder one.
Ponder, Anthony Barr was fairly shocking. There's been some shocking picks. Barr was shocking. You can't say it wasn't.
I don't know. There's some people talking about it, but I was shocked myself because I was so set on one of those quarterbacks that year.
That is considered a shocking pick then.
Yeah, but I think PA actually called Barr going there, so it wasn't completely out of the realm possibility.
Yeah, well, the Vikings are good for a shocking pick every once in a while. And you said it, like you said, it has been a while. We're probably due for all of a sudden just one of those picks where we just don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah, it's one of those ones. It's one of those growers, not a shower.
So we're gonna go over some guys and to hopefully mentally prepare you and us of some possibilities that could happen at pick 14.
And these aren't, let's not lead everybody astray. These aren't gross picks. I mean, some might be considered gross, but
some of these are gross.
But some aren't bad. They're just maybe not at a neat position that the Vikings may just decide, hey, we're taking the best player on the board.
Yeah, I got some strong feelings about a couple of these, but let's do it. Let's dive in. Where do you want to start?
Well, let's start with the quarterback here. Vikings picking 14. Let's not kid ourselves. The top quarterbacks are going to be off the board. The best one they're probably going to see available is Mac Jones. And if they took him, I think that would definitely have to be considered a surprise. To me, Mac Jones is just Kirk Cousins 2.0, maybe less in shape. You see this guy with his shirt off. He looks like your father. He's got big old tatters. He's no hint of any, like he's ever done a sit-up, a push-up, or anything. But he throws a pretty ball. He's smart. He understands defenses and how to find the open man. So I think he actually might be a productive quarterback in the NFL.
I would hate this pick more than anything. I would hate this pick if we had a second-round pick and took him. I want nothing to do with Mac Jones at all. You say you could find the open receiver. It's because his receivers were so damn good. He didn't find them. He just threw it up there. So his offense was stacked. Not Alabama quarterbacks don't do much for me at all, especially Mac Jones. People say he's a game manager. I think he's probably maybe a little bit better than that, but he isn't even close to Kirk Cousins. I would hate this pick. I would hate it.
Yeah, what worries about me is if he's gonna not take care of his body as much as he does.
Tom Brady, remember his combine? He didn't have it's not about that.
What's gonna say that he doesn't put the time in for anything else? He was at the Senior Bowl. He looked pretty good in the practices though, so I don't think you can completely chalk it up to him just getting by with the talent around him. Though that was definitely a huge help. Let me get this straight. I did not want this pick either. The Vikings are taking a quarterback. I want anybody but Mac Jones there. I'm talking top 5-ish. But yeah, this is a pick that would not help us at all in 2021.
Yeah, I mean, if he would have put up these numbers and done all this at like Toledo, I'd be a little more excited. You got DeVonte Smith and Jalen Waddle. These numbers should have been higher.
Oh, you just hand out to Najee Harris. I mean, there's all kinds of weapons there. So
there we go, Mac Jones. But you never know. This could be like a Ponder-esque pick.
They got someone. I mean, they don't have to do this. They don't have to force this. Please don't do it.
Please don't do it. We're begging you. We're begging you because we know we're watching. All right, next up, why don't we stay with Alabama? Let's go with the cornerback, Patrick Surtain.
I gotta be honest. I wouldn't hate this if the board fell a certain way and he was there. Number one, I'm a sucker for taking offspring of old NFL players. It's just a soft spot in my heart. I think it is in yours as well. But this guy, he's a damn good player. He's got the size. What is he? He's 6'2", 202 pounds, 4 career interceptions, 6 tackles for a loss, 116 total tackles. He can definitely come up and support the run. 24 pass breakups, smart player. He's been studying the game since he was little, watching his dad play. So
just a wee young lad.
I think you get this guy and you probably got yourself, say day one starter, but someone who's definitely going to get on the field early in 21.
Yeah, and this would be surprising because, again, it's another cornerback. We know we've spent a lot of time at cornerback, but we're not done at corner yet. We need some help. We saw it. We saw the depth. And I think the thing that really sticks out about this one and why Zimmer would possibly pounce all over is, like you said, he's a very good tackler. It's a very good tackling corner. We know Zimmer loves corners that can tackle. And his 4 interceptions is actually probably equates to like 15 for anybody else because nobody really threw his way very much. So those 4 picks are very deceiving.
Well, and you got to factor in too. I mean, we don't know what Mike Hughes' future is. Is he going to come back? Is he going to, what's his role going to be? This guy can't stay healthy. Is he going to be coming in as the 5th corner, having to prove himself to work his way up? Maybe he doesn't even come back. So you might be looking for a 3rd corner, and why not go with Surtain? I mean, maybe Gladney stays in the nickel there, and you put Surtain on the outside, which is maybe the way they would go. But we just mentioned Mac Jones. This would be a far better choice than Mac Jones, in my opinion.
I would rather draft the Lupagus than Mac Jones.
You should see my back pedal. It's smooth.
Mac Jones is going to be AJ McCarron 2.0.
God.
How do you like them apples?
I don't.
And I mean, Surtain would be hell of a value there at 14. I can't see him getting out of 10. And that's why it'd be probably a surprising pick. He's not really on Vikings radars because nobody really expects him to be there.
No one does. Let's go on to another guy here. And this is a guy, my youngling loves to watch mock drafts on YouTube. He watches about 10 a day. And he was watching one this morning. And this guy came on at pick 14, was a Vikings choice. And I want to preface this by just saying, we're all locked in on these guys. We're all locked in on Kwity Paye. We're locked in on Greg Russo. We're locked in on Christian Barmore, Rashawn Slater. We got to realize that it's early February. And this year's draft, I mean, teams could have completely different grades and different people. So we got to start throwing some different names in the mix. You look around, this guy is usually somewhere in the 1st round. Talking the D tackle from Iowa, DaVonte Dixon. And the Vikings need a penetrating 3 technique, and this guy actually is that to a T. You can question whether the value is there at 14, but I mean, he's got 19 career tackles for a loss, 8.5 sacks, 5.5 of those came last year. He's got an interception. He's explosive. He's not like super big, but he's quick off the ball, and he's actually pretty much what the Vikings are looking for. Again, 14. It's probably a little rich for him at this point, but it is early.
Yeah, I love the fact that he's a JUCO transfer. I got a special place in my heart for JUCO transfers. They work their ass off. They get to the next level. This isn't a name that isn't overly sexy yet anyways, but I expect some defensive tackles to come out of the woodwork as we get closer to the draft. Position always does. Everyone's saying this is kind of the weaker position of the draft, but there's some teams that are going to need D tackles who will either reach or just find players like Nixon. What I don't like about Nixon, he's from Iowa, and I don't think we had very good luck with the last defensive tackle we took from Iowa, so that one doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah, and I said he's small, but he's 6'3", 305 pounds. We watch him on tape. He doesn't look that big. He's kind of lean. Doesn't have a big old belly like Marvin Wilson or someone like that. But, you could argue that the 3 tech is the Vikings' biggest need. It's right up there. So they're looking to address that early at 14, and this is the guy they got tabbed as the best option. Then so be it. Just get familiar with it.
Yeah, and he plays pretty damn well against the run too. Win.
Hell yeah. I like this more as a trade-on option, but we'll see. Just a name to get familiar with.
All right, another one. This was a fairly common name, but again, a position maybe we aren't targeting in round 1, but the value might be there, and that is Micah Parsons from Penn State, edge rusher. I think this is a guy kind of like Anthony Barr that they could have a little bit of fun with, that can get his ass into the quarterback. He's a playmaker. Very, very hot name. Best linebacker in this year's draft. So Micah Parsons is on the board at 14, which more and more it looks like there's possibly a chance that he will be. Zimmer might get a little bing and want him.
Yeah, but you got to realize the weak side linebacker position is never a huge thing in Zimmer's defense. This guy sat out last year. He's got some character concerns. But you look at his 2019 stats, 14 tackles for a loss, jump out at you, 5 sacks. This guy can get after the passer. He can create some pressure from the outside. He might be the best player on the board, and that those concerns might be what pushes him down to 14. And if you're truly going to take the best player, it might just be Micah Parsons.
Yeah, and he can play more spots than linebacker. They can move him around back there. They can put him on the line if they want. He's not very nice, which I like about him.
Would you fatten him up a little bit?
No, I think he's just right.
Give him a little Debbie diet?
like to fatten you up.
What's your favorite Little Debbie snack?
Little Debbie's are disgusting. I don't like any of them except the honey bun. Honey bun, I could eat a million of those things. The Swiss cake rolls, the oatmeal things, I'd rather eat your ass.
Growing up, I was a big Swiss cake roll guy. So, but what's a really underrated one? The old fudge round.
Doesn't taste like fudge. Zebra cakes, are those Little Debbie? Those are all right.
Yeah, you look like a nutty bar guy to me.
Nutty bars are good. Honey buns are the best. Speaking of the best, we saved the best for last. And by the best, we mean the grossest. And that is Sam Cosby, offensive tackle from Texas. Why the hell is he on this list? Because our offensive line sucks. And he's an athletic tackle. The Vikings love athletic tackles. And Cosby, as painful as it is, I think he's a name that's going to rise and go sooner than people think.
I don't know. I feel like he's going the other way lately. It's Cosby to me is strictly a left tackle, maybe a right tackle.
Yeah, I think he's a right tackle.
We just don't need right now.
Move old Brian.
Vikings have to make a decision on Riley Reef. Are they going to keep him or not? And if they do let him go, is Ezra Cleveland going on the left side? If you take Sam Cosby, then you're shuffling your lineup even more. I think you maybe Reef's gone. You're putting Brian O'Neill on left, putting Cosby at right, keeping Ezra Cleveland at right guard. And you still got to find a left guard if you do this. So this would be a huge shock to me. I think this would be a move for down the road. I don't think it's going to help the Vikings at all. And if they took Sam Cosby, I would be so shocked. I would watch the rest of the draft completely naked.
Well, that part won't be shocking. I'm going to say something bold here. I'd rather have Sam Cosby than Mac Jones. Easy. I'd rather trade up and get Sam Cosby than draft Mac Jones at 14.
Wow. No, I wouldn't.
In 3 years, when Mac Jones is a all-pro and the best quarterback in the league, we can come back and you can rip on me for saying this. But, yeah, Cosby would be a very big stretch. It's more if they have it in their mind that they're going all O-line. We're going O-line, and the guys ahead of us are gone, and they just reach. This would be horrible.
I mean, if the Vikings have a plan in place where taking Cosby makes sense, then okay. But like I said, it looks like it's a very convoluted plan if they do. A lot of things got to change. A lot of guys at new positions. So to me, you'd be really shaking up the O-line if you took Sam Cosby at 14.
That's one way to put it, shaking it up. But those are our guys. Those are the shaking it up is being nice.
What's the other way?
I could say many bad things. So those are our 5 surprising picks at pick 14. Every year we see it. Some teams just take one shocking picks. Let's just hope it's not the Vikings.
Yeah, I mean, you look at some past drafts, the Raiders taking Clelin Ferrell at 4.
Pretty much every one of the Raiders picks is surprising.
Yeah, last year was a Damon Arnett in round 1 at 18. I mean, so it happens. And let's just hope the Vikings don't do that. Sometimes those pan out, sometimes they don't. Never forget the draft where the Jaguars took Tyson Aldo at 10, and we all just shit our pants.
Chiefs take Tyson Jackson at 3. Yuck.
Not good. So that's not good, but this is something that's very good, and you're going to want to know this. Male elephants will often use their penis as a 5th leg to support their weight. Call me an elephant.